My name's Evelyn, and I'm the owner of Boralia on the popular Ossington Strip of Toronto. So that's Wayne Morris. He's the head chef of Boralia.
The thing that makes Boralia so special is
I think we're proving that at Boralia that there is such a thing as Canadian cuisine, and people are proud of that. Other than working at Boralia, I love spending time with my son Teddy, who is turning 2 in December.
Me too. Other than working at Boralia, I love spending time with my son Teddy and my wife Evelyn. So I grew up in a very small town in Nova Scotia. My dad was a hunter, so we would eat like wild venison and game birds and stuff when we were young. I think I was 23 when I started cooking school. It was a little bit later than a lot of people. I thought to myself, like, I love food. I've always loved eating. It's been a passion of mine for as long as I can remember.
I was born and raised in Toronto. I moved to Hong Kong when I was very young for 5 years, between the ages of 2 and 7. After high school, I went to study marketing and management at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. After I graduated, I moved to New York City, where I took a cooking class, and that's when I decided I wanted to change careers. And it was something I was really excited about, waking up early on a Saturday morning, which is, unheard of for a 24-year-old. All of our dishes are rooted in a historical context. We scour old cookbooks and old history books and take these old Canadian recipes and reimagine them with a modern twist.
The food is very Canada focused, so we want to use local ingredients in their prime as much as possible. My favorite part of my career so far has been meeting Evelyn. I mean, if it wasn't for cooking, I would never have met her.
At home and at the restaurant, Wayne is definitely the better chef.
But Evelyn has a really great and strong cooking background, and she always has strong opinions, which I'd like is one of the things I love about her. Anytime I come up with a new dish or we start developing new dishes, it gets run by her before it goes on the menu.
I need the invoice for the trout so I can bring the check to the market.
Oh yeah, I have that.
Okay.
It's in my wallet.
Okay. So I've always grown up eating a lot of things. Being Chinese, you eat like every part of the animal, tendon, tripe. I always grew up very curious about trying new things.
When I was a kid, we would take like lots of long walks on the beach, and you'd always find like these pretty shells and
No kidding.
My family. And yeah, you find these shells like just laying around the shore, but I never really thought of it as being food.
It was interesting because you had never had whelk until you had dinner with my dinners with my family, because it's something that I've had lots of times growing up. The way we create the dish, it's a nice mix between the Chinese background and also the Mi'kmaq and the Nova Scotia, the East Coast Métis. We have a sautéed carrot and burdock root underneath the whelk that's deglazed in soy sauce. So there are Asian flavors in this.
And burdock's a very interesting ingredient too, because I always thought it was a wild native ingredient, but it's actually not native to North America. It came over from Asia. This dish is very special to us. It's probably the most popular menu item since we've opened the restaurant.
In 1605, Samuel de Champlain, who was part of the first European settlement in Nova Scotia, he had created this eating and drinking society and had cooked this dish for his men to lift their spirits. It was their first winter in Canada. They weren't used to it. They were away from their families.
The original process of the dish is to bury the mussels and pine needles light on fire. I don't know, we had more failed attempts with this dish than any other one, but it took us about 6 months, and we ended up going back to original idea.
They're special because a lot of people come in and they taste some of our dishes and it reminds them of something that they had when they were growing up from their childhood. It kind of hits a nostalgic point, but everything is rooted in history, and we're paying tribute to the dishes of all the people who built this country. And it's been great, but we're no longer the new kid on the block.
Trying new things, evolving, you know, cooking, having fun, loving what we do.
I mean, we just want to keep cooking, and we just hope that the guests who come in, you know, appreciate the food that we're doing and understand what we're trying to contribute to the definition of Canadian cuisine, right?
Right.